Welcome on into the Wild Willie Podcast Show. I'm Willie Cologne, and he is
JJ, baby. What's going on, Big Willie? How was your Easter weekend?
Oh, before we get to Easter weekend, we have to shout out. It is draft week 2025. JJ, I see you with that Dallas Cowboys jersey on.
Bam!
Not on. It's behind you, Dak Prescott. And I'm obviously walking. I have the black and gold right behind me, and I got a bunch of other jerseys posted up on the wall. But for JJ, you being a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan, your team is picking at number 12, I think. Is that wrong?
You're right.
Is it 12?
Yeah, well, but I got a feeling we're going to move up, Big Willie. We're going to get some good stuff. We're going to move up, Big Willie. We got a plan.
What's the plan for what's the hopes? But let me change that. What are the hopes for every Cowboys fan out there? Do you want to go up and get a running back? Is there a chance you make a trade? There's some Jerry Jones came out in the news and said that there's some trades that may be happening in favor for the Dallas Cowboys, if you will. I mean, there's reports that there's a blockbuster deal on the table that if it's done, it could alter the shape of the Dallas Cowboys for next season. JJ, you being a boots on the ground type of guy, how do you feel about the Cowboys going into this 2025 NFL draft?
It's a mystery, Big Willie. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's a mystery, goddamn it. It's like we trying to figure it out now. What we hope can happen is we can get a running back and a hellified receiver, goddamn it, to offset, goddamn it, CD Lamb, so the pressure won't be so much on him. Because to be honest with you, I think we got some heat up under my boy Dak, ass, by bringing Milton in from the New England Patriots. And I'm going to tell you something. When you got a man and you looking on that sideline and you don't see nothing, it don't put no threat to you. But when you look on that sideline and you know, you ain't handling your business, and this man right here can come in a minute off an injury or anything and take your spot, that make you got there and get in gear. And if this don't do it, Big Willie, I don't know what will. So if we can get a running back and got done at a receiver to offset CD Lamb, I think we're gonna be good everywhere else. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I'm with you. The Cowboys definitely have options. I mean, if you're a Cowboys fan, there's a chance you could trade up and possibly get a Ashton Genty, the Boise State big time running back everybody's in love with, or you can stay right there and grab you a big time young receiver and see what happens, or you can make a trade and go get somebody like, I don't know, a Tyreek Hill out of Miami who wants to get out of Miami.
Not just him. They saying your boy Brown over there with Philly. That could be a blockbuster trade because they saying Philly got so many receivers that they can trade Brown, get what they want, and still not hurt. And that can be a big impact for the Cowboys. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's a great time of the year, man. NFL draft, this is where I think everybody's fandom comes alive, and you have an opportunity, man. When you're watching the draft, there's only two ways you can go. You can either go offense or defense, and everybody's picky, right? Like I'm, as a Steelers fan and obviously a Jets fan, the Steelers are picking 21, and they're at a critical point because a lot may fall to them, or they can get anxious and move up, which they technically don't do a lot. However, if I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the kid from Alabama, Jalen Milroe, the quarterback.
Yep. But I hear y'all looking at Shedeur too. It's in the right.
I don't think Shedeur is actually. Yeah, I don't think he's going to fall that far. But if he does, I'm pretty sure Mike Tomlin is going to make a swing at him. But we see what happens. Moving along. So best of luck to everybody out there in their respective teams. Everybody wants to get their guy. You know, I was fortunate enough. I was drafted in 2005, fourth round, 131. Out of Hofstra University, Long Island, New York, is where my university is.
Big Willie, where were you?
What happened?
When you got drafted, where were you to celebrate that?
Man, my story is interesting. So the story's long, so I'm gonna try to condense it because I know we got to push along a little bit. JJ, when you enter the draft, they ask you to have a landline and a cell phone, right? So if the cell phone doesn't work, you have your landline. At the time, I was staying in Long Island, and the landline that I had given them wasn't to the house I was staying at. It was at my sister's house, right? And I only had my cell phone. So day one of the draft came, and I was currently staying at the house I was staying in, which was my quarterback's house. He had 3 rooms. I was staying in one of the rooms because I was training. I was going back and forth. So when I was in town, I just needed somewhere to lay my head. Fast forward, day one of the draft, I knew I wasn't a day one guy, so I really wasn't really wasn't looking into it. I was kind of looking to see other guys who I knew personally and see who got picked up. There was a chance my receiver, Marcus Colston, was potentially going to go day one. There was some talks about that. Sure, didn't happen. So anyway, day one goes by. My phone is going off everybody's wishing you best of luck. We'll see what happens. And when you're in that position, you're really just trying to stay cool, calm, and collected, right? Because obviously I want my name called, but I'm a small school guy. Yes, I had all the accolades, but I'm just, hey, I just want to get into camp and make the best of my opportunity. Fast forward, I ended up going to my sister's house in the Bronx. And it was late that night. I had a T-Mobile Razr, JJ. T-Mobile Razr. That was my cell phone. So I have my cell phone and my landline is to my sister's house where I'm currently staying. So all is set. So I feel good. I go to my sister's house. I crash on her couch. I wake up day 2 of the draft. And by the way, my sister has this leather couch. It was a hot day in the Bronx. Man, I peeled my ass off that goddamn couch, right? And so I'm sitting on the couch. I turn on ESPN, and during my draft process, JJ, for a lot of guys who are entering the draft, you visit a lot of teams. You kind of, you work out for some teams. There's an interview process. So I had interviewed with damn near like 20-something teams. Like a lot of teams were interested in me. Wow. And so 2 of the teams that I thought I was going to go to was the Miami Dolphins or the Buffalo Bills, or potentially I think another team that was hot on me, the Bengals, right? So fast forward, man, the draft is going on. The Buffalo Bills and Dolphins are back to back. So I'm like, oh, this is okay, the 4th round, because the rounds have started to go through. So I'm watching it. 4th round comes around. I'm thinking, oh, here goes the Bills, here goes the Dolphins. We'll see. Because I had a great relationship with the O-line coaches and the people who I met on my visits. I felt like this was a legit possibility for me. Well, JJ, I go to my phone. I'm looking at my phone that's plugged into the charger, and my phone is not working, JJ.
Oh, no.
Not working. I can't get my phone on for nothing. And I'm watching the Dolphins pick, and I'm watching the Bills pick go right by. And I'm saying, it's over. Like, those are the two teams my agent was excited about. I was excited about. My sister comes in the living room. She's like, well, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Just stay positive. You never know what's going to happen. I'm lost for words, JJ, right? Because I'm like, this is over.
Kind of
right? This is my chance. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Yeah. My sister comes in. She's like, I'm gonna make you breakfast. I'm like, all right, fine. Sitting there watching the draft. My phone miraculously turns back on. Wow. And by this time, when my phone turns on, I'm on the terrace. My sister has a terrace. 412 pops up on her phone, and I'm like, she's like, do you know 412? Do you know the number? I'm like, no, I don't know. So I was like, pick it up. My sister picks up the phone. She's like, hey, hello, who's this? She goes, the person goes, oh, is this Willie Cologne's phone? And my sister goes, yes. She rushes the phone to me. I grab the phone, and it's Bill Cowher. Wow. And Bill Cowher's like, hey, Willie, how you doing? Do you want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler? And I'm like, hell yeah, right? I'm like, hell yeah. So he goes on and goes, all right, well, that's awesome, man. Welcome to Pittsburgh. We're going to be calling your name and your number right now. As I turn around, I'm on the phone. As I turn around to the TV, it says 4th round, 131, Willie Cologne out Hofstra. And I just fall to my knees. I just fall to my knees and cry. Dang. And my sister's crying, and we're all crying, and it's just a magical moment.
Wow.
And when I got back on the phone with the people from Pittsburgh, they're like, all right, man, congratulations, welcome to the family, yada, yada, yada. This is when you got to report. We're going to give you some further information, but congratulations. I stopped the person. I was like, hey, by the way, where's Pittsburgh?
Hold on, Big Willie. Did you really?
I never left New York, JJ. I never left. I never been anywhere. I'm a kid from the Bronx. I went from going to grade school in New York to high school. I went to Long Island College and University. Went to Hofstra University in Long Island. Excuse me, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I never left New York. And my mother was a Steelers fan, and I knew about Pittsburgh, but I didn't know what Pittsburgh was. And so that's my draft story. And it was an emotional one because my mom and aunt are both Steeler fans, love the Steel Curtain and Franco Harris. For a long time, I thought Franco Harris may have been my daddy, the way she talked about him so intimately. And so it's special moments like that I always kind of get geeked up
So it
for the
made
draft.
their
Not only through
moment,
my own personal experience, but for for other people who I know are probably going through the same thing.
and it made your mom and her twin happy because they're big fans, and you wanted to go to Buffalo, but you end up going to their dream team.
Right. And it was crazy too, because so two things. One, in 2005, the Steelers played the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl. That was Jerome Bettis' last game. And I
Mhm.
remember watching the game with my family and betting against the Steelers. I was going for the Seahawks. I was like, I don't give a damn about
Wow.
the Steelers. I want the Seahawks to win. They had Sean
Yeah.
Alexander. They had those funky neon green type
Yes.
uniforms. I was like, these guys are sweet. And Steelers ended up winning.
Mm.
To push along, remember I told you about the draft interview process where you visit when you visit each team. I happened to visit the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm.
I land in Pittsburgh, right, the night before. I wake up, I go meet everybody in the building. My interview process for the Steelers was no longer than, no bullshit, 30 minutes.
Dang. So you
30
didn't even
minutes,
have
I
them
was
on
in
the
the
radar.
building and I was out and I was in a limousine heading back to the airport going back to New York. And I remember saying to while I'm in the limousine, my my agent calls me. He's like, "Hey, how did the interview go? How did everything, just give me the details." And
Yeah.
I'm like, Joe, I don't think they feeling me, boy. It felt like I just got a sandwich and a cup of coffee and they pushed me out the door. So to hear Pittsburgh call me was like, because I was like, no way Pittsburgh liked me.
Yeah.
But because when I went to Miami, the offensive line coach Hudson Howell, he worked me out. I met, and at the time the head coach for the Dolphins was Nick Saban,
Yeah.
and so I was like, oh, the Dolphins definitely love me. Buffalo definitely loves me. Pittsburgh, I think they want nothing to do with me. And turned out I got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So
wow. What you think won't will, and what you think will won't.
100%. JJ, I don't want to let this go before we go to quick break. Easter was here. You dominated Easter via social media. Can you tell us how the hell did it go?
Big Willie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it went every way my mama would have wanted to go, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Family came together. Gucci had her son and daughter here. I had my children here. The only reason Sky wasn't here is because she just had my grandson. He's just 4 weeks and he haven't gotten his 6-week shot. So at the end of the month, he will be getting his 6-week shots. Then he can start being around, folks, because they've been having a lot of stuff going on with babies, and stuff going on with them in the cribs and passing. They got a name for it, but it's been a lot of stuff been going on. So she just didn't want to risk them, being around everybody. But man, Gucci was up to 2:00 in the morning. I stayed up with her. She was cooking, man. I'm talking about got up early, probably about 7 in the morning to finish cooking. D came over, which is Gucci's daughter, and she helped her out, made macaroni and cheese. The girls came by. Sanjay made the 24-hour, 7 days a week salad. And Star, she made the string beans. And man, I'm talking about, and Sky and Sanjay and Star Blee made the turkey rolls. You got to do that, Big Willie. You're going to love that. You can do it with turkey or ham. What you do, you get some cream cheese. You cut up some green onions in it in a bowl. You mix it all in together, put it up on your ham or turkey, roll it up and cut it up and put toothpicks in it like hors d'oeuvres. And it is some kind of good. We had dressing with wing, mixed greens, mustard, and turnip with the Cajun turkey necks up in it, Big Willie. Big Willie, I'm talking about everything was good. I had a smoked ham and a smoked turkey. And I had what my brother-in-law called that church punch. That's what their sherbet, rainbow sherbet, and ginger ale and Sprite and pineapple
They
juice
put a bunch
all
of
mixed.
fruit in it, right? Yeah. Well, before I let you go, what was the fit like? I know you went to church. What did you wear
Big
to
Willie,
church?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't make it to church because I had to help So Gucci. We had the grandkids coming over. We had the Easter egg hunt for the grandkids, and we had the Easter egg hunt for the big grown folks as well. And it was hilarious, Big Willie.
I'm disappointed. I'm not gonna lie.
So I didn't make
appreciate
it.
the
So
food
Big Willie,
talk,
you
but I
on
was-
your own with this one, Big Willie. Yeah, I didn't go this Sunday, Big Willie. I ain't gonna lie. But I saw you, Big Willie. You were clean.
I had to do it for the kids one time. My daughter looked awesome. She looked adorable. My son looked awesome. Keisha got him dressed up. It was a good time. We had everybody over at the house. We had an Easter egg hunt. I cooked a little. Keisha cooked a little. This was a different Easter, obviously, because my mother and aunt wasn't here. This is usually one of their favorite holidays because they do the Easter baskets. And usually when you have the grandkids, this is a time where the grandparents spoil the shit out of the grandkids with Easter baskets. When my sister stepped up, she got them Easter baskets, and they have more toys than they need. So now there's candy, there's toys, and they're still unwrapping stuff. So they had a great Easter. We had a great Easter. So it was good.
Big Willie, good.
Quick question, because I know JJ mentioned like cooking and stuff like that, but you didn't really go into specifics. You were talking to us last week about what you were going to have Gucci cook and if she's going to handle your mom's cooking. You didn't. I know some of the commenters had thoughts on that. So how did that go? How did you handle that?
Big Willie, she cooked a 24 hours, 7 days a week salad. And I asked if the recipe was going to be right. Well, Sanjay made one as well, along with So Gucci. But Big Willie, you told me to keep my mouth closed. Hey, Big Willie, the bottom of the 24/7 salad was terrific. Everything was right. Sanjay even had hers right. But So Gucci had like a little too much something or not something up on the top part with the cream cheese, and she told me, "Well, baby, I think I didn't do it right. I'm gonna scrape the top off, and I'm gonna, because I'm not satisfied with it and everything." So Big Willie, I did what you said. I made her feel good. Well, baby, I'm gonna be honest with you. I told her everything else was good, and Big Willie, it was just the top wasn't right, Big Willie. So she said she's gonna redo it and get it right. She said she know what she's supposed to do that she didn't do. So Big Willie, I kept it like you told me, Big Willie, and I didn't tell her it wasn't right. But the bottom of it was white, Big Willie. It just wouldn't have got there top part. So I had to make her feel good and kind of ease it in about the top, which she already knew about that anyway, Big Willie. So I think I did a good job.
So my only question, JJ, is obviously you said Sanjay made the salad. She
made one of them. She made the one that So Gucci made.
Right. Did you let Gucci know that Sanjay made a better salad?
Well, Gucci said it herself. She said, Sanjay, yours is goddamn good. I'm going to be honest with you. Whatever you did, that's what I'm going to do. So I didn't have to tell her that. So that saved me, Big Willie. Okay. That saved me. And I'm going to be honest with you. It wasn't none left. Exactly. And when and none left. So they cleaned the bowl with Sanjay salad.
I applaud Gucci for at least attempting to do it and taking it like a good sport and not being upset and just being like, I'll try better next time. So good for her.
Exactly. She gonna get it. She gonna get it, Big Willie. Just like I done it, when my Cowboys, stay at it trying to get to the Super Bowl. We gonna get there.
One day. We're going to take a break. Come on back. Wild Willie Podcast Show. Welcome on back to the Wild Willie Podcast Show. I'm Willie Cologne, and he is...
JJ, baby. What's going on, Big Willie?
JJ, it's time for Hot Topics. You ready?
I'm ready, Big Willie.
What's the most pettiest thing you've ever done? When I mean petty is like, have you ever done something out of spite? Like, so Gucci ever pissed you off? Have you ever been the type of person to... like for me, one of my things when I want to get back at Keisha, I do a couple things. One, I save that last sip of juice, right? And I leave it in the fridge. That pisses her off.
Ooh,
or
oh yeah, I got
or
one.
if I know I'm annoyed with her, I'll take a shower and I'll get the bath mat all soaked up wet. And she's like, "Who the guy? Why do you just dry off in the shower?" I'm like, "Fuck you."
Yes.
What's another thing I do? Oh, I am, and then sometimes consciously and unconscious, but when I'm being petty, it's more consciously. I am the guy from the time to time. Like I'll leave my shoes. Like I'll get on no, it's not the shoes thing. My wife has this thing, and maybe it's a Southern thing. Don't get on the bed with all your outside clothes.
Exactly.
Nope, that's my rule too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Britt agrees with that.
Gucci the same way.
Yeah, she'll be like, "Get the hell off you got your outside clothes on.
Yes.
Don't put that on." I'm like, what does that even mean? Exactly. So that's what I mean by petty. Have you done anything like that lately, Jay?
Well, me and you in the same boat when it comes to the bed, because I know that's going to piss her off. And then she pisses me off because she can see me pulling up in the driveway, Big Willie, with the door wide open, sitting right there, goddamn it, at the goddamn door, at the bar, and goddamn it, I gets to the door and the damn door lock. Why you just ain't open the damn door? Even the dog barking, telling you to open the damn door, and you sitting not even 5 yards from the door, and you just sitting there looking at me on the phone. That pisses me the hell off, goddamn it. I ain't gonna lie, Big Willie. But you know what? I do the same damn thing. I wait till she got there and get good and got there and ready to come to the goddamn house, Big Willie. And I know she around the corner. So you know what I do? I jump in the shower. So goddamn, when I jump in the shower, Big Willie, I have the screen door locked and the goddamn door. Ooh. So goddamn it, when she and then Big Willie, I be laughing because goddamn she'll blow my damn phone up trying to get the goddamn door unlocked, goddamn, and I be sitting there, goddamn, just listening at the ring. And Big Willie, you know when in hot water hitting you and you feeling good, boy, you hear that phone ring, you be like, damn, that phone, especially when you know it's her. So you just take even longer. So she gets so damn mad because she don't want to walk all the way around. Then she got to come through the front door. Then goddamn when I get off and drive, you didn't hear the goddamn door? Me calling you? I said, babe, I'm naked. I was in the goddamn shower. Well, why would you lock the damn door? I said, well, now you see how I feel, goddamn it, when I come to the door and it's goddamn locked. But they don't like when you do it, Big Willie. It's okay when they do it, but they don't like when you do it. And one other thing that I love doing that pisses her off, when she in the goddamn bed at night, and I come throw the cover back off of goddamn it to get in the bed, and boy, that piss off when that cold ass hit her ass.
Hit that
boy,
ass
that
after
boy turned into the ecstasy.
I already know.
She turned into the ecstasy, Big Willie. Got that goddamn cover. I don't told you time and time again, goddamn, you ain't getting nothing tonight. Boy, that boy be so goddamn mad. But goddamn, baby, I'm trying to get in the damn bed. You ain't got to put it all like that. Oh, that mud be so hot. That's one of the worst things you can do to her.
Well, this is the story that was just recently told. It says a man who didn't want to look after his girlfriend's pet sent a bomb threat while she was on a cruise. It goes right here, Jay. Listen to this. This is a 19-year-old man who was upset at his girlfriend for going on a cruise has been sent to prison for making a bomb threat to the ship. Says Joshua Lowe from Michigan admitted that he was annoyed that he had to watch his girlfriend's pet while his partner and her family went on a Caribbean cruise, leading him to take drastic measures. So this is what he did. Sending an email to the Carnival Corporation, cruise lines, if you will, Mr. Lowe casually wrote, "Hey, I think someone might have a bomb on your Sunrise cruise ship." Well, it didn't pan out well because what happened was the FBI takes things like that seriously. They not only combed the ship and realized that there was no bomb, they actually tracked this guy down, got a hold of his email, found him, 19-year-old kid, Joshua Lowe, and discovered like, hey, man, this is bullshit. He admitted that was bullshit and that he was mad because he wasn't invited onto the trip. By the way, this is the caveat, Jay. This kid is living in his girlfriend's home. Oh, so the dad was like, I don't want to take this. I'm not paying for this asshole. You stay at home. I'm taking my family, and I want happy times on the sea with my family. You're just banging my daughter. That's all you're doing. I don't have to fend for you. The fact that I'm allowing you to live underneath my roof is enough. Nevertheless, the guy was pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 months in prison. And JJ, what a dumbass.
Big Willie, that's more than pettiness. I mean, that's pettiness to everybody on board, not just his goddamn woman. That is just, I mean, damn. That goddamn pleasure cost him a whole lot of pain, Big Willie.
Not even that. What did you get out of it?
Yeah.
Right? Like you were forced to watch, a dog. For what? 4 days.
Thank you.
First of all, the fact that as a dad, I'm allowing you to stay underneath my roof.
Yes.
And I'm asking you, say, hey, son, if I'm going to allow you to stay here, a 19-year-old male who normally gets kicked out of the house by 18, I'm going to allow you to have some shelter over your head. All I'm asking you to do is walk the dog 3 times a day and throw him some dry food, and you can go about your merry way. And you had the nerve to ruin my paid vacation out of my hard-earned money because you're upset we told you to stay behind and watch the dog. He felt some type of way. Dog, I would have kicked that kid out of my house after his ass got out of jail. And 2, I would have beat the hell out of him. Because that's some spoiled, ignorant, bratty shit.
Yes, sir.
That's why his own father probably kicked him out the house for being fucking, being an asshole. But it's insane. I can't even believe the story.
Yeah. But one thing I can say, Big Will, I'm pretty sure the dad is, he was upset, but he kind of glad too because now he ain't at the house with his daughter. He ain't got to worry about him for a minute because he locked up. And I'm pretty sure the dad damn sure ain't finna give him no bail money to get out. So he hoping that teacher daughter a lesson got done so she could got there and move on. So by the time he do get out of jail, she'll have a whole new life. Now, if I was a dad, that would be me.
Well, a couple of things, and you're right with that, Jay. But a couple other things. One, what's crazy about it is for the girl, she's like everything might, and this is obviously hypothetically we're hypothetically speaking, excuse me, because a couple of things. One, the dad probably never liked the kid, right? Nope. So now that his ass is in jail. Two, he tried to ruin a vacation. Now he's looking at his daughter like, I told you he was an asshole.
Yes.
Right? Now you just confirmed everything the dad probably felt about the young man. And now the young man has his dumb shit on his record. What a dumbass. I hate like kids got to be smarter. And sometimes thinking you're funny or bitter has nothing to do with what shit you should be doing, which is watching the damn dog.
That's it.
And just being cool, making sure nobody breaks in the house. And then first of all, if you're allowed to stay in the home when that family came back, make sure the house is clean. You've earned some equity with the dad. Well, he probably changes his mind. Yeah. But you just proved that you're an asshole and no longer welcome in the family.
Exactly. That's some messed up stuff, Big Willie. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, Jay, we got to talk about your main man, Kanye West. He's in the news again. Nothing new for Kanye West. He tweeted something, and I just want to. It's a little graphic, but we're just gonna throw it out there. And I have two questions once we read this. We know, by the way, Kanye West deals with some mental issues, and we're extremely empathetic and sympathetic about that. But this is what he had to say. He took to X, no longer Twitter, so excuse me. It says, this song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked up in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6. And then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is G, and I sucked my cousin's dick until I was 14.
Hold up.
Who said that? That's what Kanye West tweeted. Now, listen, we know he's been in the news. He said some egregious things, in reference to Hitler. He's even come at Beyonce and Jay-Z. He goes at anybody and everybody. He's all about freedom of speech and saying whatever is on his heart and mind. Two things, Jay, and I'm going to start here.
Yeah.
One, I'm a guy who loves Kanye music. I listen to a lot of Kanye's music. Some of the things he tweets and says, I do not condone nor stand for or stand by. But just like we had the conversation with R. Kelly, is it time to remove the art from the artist?
Big Will, I'm just gonna be honest with you, goddamn. When you get to that point, goddamn, right there, you just need to be shut down because you just talking out the side of your head, goddamn, and you just saying any goddamn thing. You supposed to be inspiration out here, kids listening to you, and a lot of the things our kids are doing right now is because they listening to stuff like that right there with him and thinking it's okay. So my thing is the media sitting here and they blasting this stuff and showing this stuff. What is it going to do to the younger generation? How they supposed to get better when every day that's what they listening and being like a role model to them? They thinking it's all right, Big Willie.
Yeah, listen. So a couple things. One, when the whole thing happened with R. Kelly, I was on the train. The artist and the art I kept together, and I was like, man, if that's what he was about. And that's what he's locked up for. I want nothing to do with R. Kelly. We wouldn't even play R. Kelly in my house, right? And I grew up a guy who loved R. Kelly much like everybody else. So I removed myself from listening to R. Kelly. Now Kanye West has brought me to the point where I'm saying to myself, like, some of this stuff, man, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I find, like, Kanye West is a part of my workout mixtape. Like, there's a couple of tracks where I love his old stuff to some of his new stuff. So I'm always like, now I'm bordering that line where I'm like, damn, am I ready to push Yeezy out my life solely because of how he thinks and how he talks and what he represents? And so I'm teetering with that. But then there's another question, Judge. And this is another question. he goes on in the tweet. He goes, the reason I end up having this sexual act with my cousins because I found the magazine and we pretty much reenacted what we saw and what we saw in the magazine. Jack, I gotta be honest with you. As a parent, this struck a nerve because not too long ago, and the reason I'm bringing this up because my daughter a couple months ago found my wife's rose. For those that don't know what the rose is. It's a sex toy.
Hold on, Big Willie. She probably thought it was one of the roses outside. Big Willie, mommy, flower, mommy.
She was in the house. She was in our room playing around, and I think my wife was cleaning out a dresser or doing something, and she left it out. And my daughter picked it up, and she picked it up, and it was vibrating in her hand. And I said, "Oh my God!" And my wife was like, "Oh no, baby, we can't play with that." She's like, "Mommy, what is it?" She said, "It looks like a rose." So now I'm saying to myself, we got to be more responsible.
Yeah.
Like Kanye goes on to talk about how he was digging through his parents' closet, found the Playboy in one closet, which was his father's, and his mother had a sex magazine, in her closet. And it makes you kind of sit back as a parent and go, man, one, you got to have conversations. And two, you got to be careful what you leave around. Because I too, JJ, when my father brought the hot box in our living room, in our house, meaning a legal cable, I didn't discover porno until we had the hot box, because that's when we had the cable box. We had the extra channels. So I was seeing shit at an early age, like, oh, what the hell is this? And I was intrigued and curious. I was a young, horny boy who now had just discovered Playboy and porno. And all I could think about is when I get to school and my school girlfriend, I can't wait to try out what the hell I'm watching right here. And it's like, that's what Kanye was doing.
Yeah.
He discovered something and he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Now he did it with his cousin, and I did it with a young lady who I was messing with in school. But it lets you, for all you parents out there, there's a warning.
Yeah.
You can't leave shit around.
Mm-mm.
And there's no such thing as a hiding place.
No.
Do what you do with it, but get it out the house, because kids are nosy.
Yeah.
Kids are all over the place.
Exactly.
And you're not always going to be on your post, especially in the comforts of your own home.
Exactly.
So be better.
And Big Willie, I'm going to be honest with you. I used to find my dad a Playboy magazine and VHS tapes. Got done, and boy, me and my stepbrother used to go in there and look at them goddamn VHS tape before he get home. Woo, Big Willie, I think that's why I got done. I'm like I am now.
See?
Goddamn. it just messed me up, Big Willie. All that was looking good to me.
And it's the root. It all starts with the root, right? Like the root of my horniness and my curiosity was because my dad had illegal cable. From the illegal cable, I had discovered porno, and I was like, whoa, what the hell is this? And then I was like, well, if that's what if that's what a man and a woman does, I'm a man. I'm about to go do it with a woman.
Yes, sir.
And so it's interesting. Like, people are bashing Kanye, obviously, for some of his tweets are egregious. Once again, we don't support a lot of things, most of what he says. But nevertheless, I think it just sparked another issue in my household, and it should spark another issue in most parents' household. When you think there's things that shouldn't be mentioned are safe, check again and be careful when it comes to sex toys, magazines, equipment, whatever. Whatever you do, be careful.
Yes.
And I throw that at you, JJ.
Yeah.
Especially who has a fleet of grandchildren.
Ooh.
You and So Gucci are fans of the sex world. You guys have toys and things. And you actually gifted me coochie in a can, which is well documented.
Don't y'all let Holly got done forward get to that.
Right. Like all that stuff, I can't keep it out. The coochie in a can, the paddle, the whip, the lube, all that stuff has to be put in a different place right now.
Yes, because sir. I can see Ford running around the house with that whip. Come here, Holly. You think it got that? He's like, what you doing with that?
I wouldn't even know how to explain it, Jay. I wouldn't even know how to explain it. So Kanye, for everybody out there who's a fan of him, there's two questions. Are you able to separate the artist from the art? And two, whatever your unmentionables are, wherever they may be, is it well protected? Because once kids get a hold of it, and you can't unseen what you've seen. Mm-mm. So be careful out there. Make sure the kids don't have access, and make sure if you are going to leave things around, the kids are at least not in the house.
Yes.
Because Curiosity kills the cat.
Exactly.
Let's move it on. JJ, there's another one. There's a show right now that I'm intrigued by. It's called Couples Therapy. Have you heard of it, JJ?
Couples therapy. No, I don't think I heard of couples therapy. That's when when couples got problems and they go get counseling, got done, and the preacher got there and try to tell them their problem. Yeah, I heard of couples therapy. Yeah.
So there's a show on the Showtime that it's blowing up all over social media, and it's real live couples from all different races and genders, and they're sitting down and they're dumping their issues on camera in front of this therapist who does a great job. And her name is Arna Gerling. Anyway, she's the center of the show.
Okay.
It says couple therapy gives viewers a rare look into real life therapy sessions and the deeply intimate conversations that are normally private. Jay, you've been married for umpteen years. I've gone on 8 years. This marks 8 years in June. Jay, I'm going to be honest. I always had a negative approach about couples therapy, in particular, when you decide to go to therapy. Like I've always had this mindset. If you are with a young lady and you guys are not yet married, if you find like you need to go to therapy before tying a knot, I think that's a big red flag. I think that's a big red flag. However, some people push back like, no, if you really love somebody and you want to get, you want to be able to say things and dump it all out on the table before you tie the knot, you should do so. I understand that. Now, on top of that, Jay, somebody who's about to be 8 years into my marriage, do I feel like couple therapy is necessary? I'm not against it, because I feel like couple therapy is something that helps you navigate not only your own issues, but your relationship issues. And my mother-in-law, who is a licensed psychologist, I put her onto the show. I was like, hey, I call her Annie Faye. I was like, Annie Faye, you gotta check this show out. It's so intriguing. I watch it all over social media. It's called Couples Therapy. It's on Showtime once again. And I'm intrigued by it because it's so layered, it's so deep, it's so complex, it's so real, so in your face. And what's awesome about it too, JJ, and let me pivot. Let me backtrack. So when I brought it to her and I told her about the show, she was like, yeah, I used to do couple therapy myself. However, I would suggest before the couple gets together and have the therapy that individually they go through their own rounds of therapy before they come together, because they have to kind of get through their own shit individually before they can come together and try to heal or kind of fix whatever they're going through. And I was like, oh, that's a great, I imagine that's a great move. But as I continue to watch the show, JJ, and I'm going to throw this question at you, because how long have you been married? 13 years?
I've been married since 2018, but me and Gucci been together since 2005.
Right. Is couple therapy something you would suggest, even though maybe there not be any issues in your relationship?
To be honest with you, Big Willie, I think it depends on the person. I don't think couples therapy is, I've never been in a couples therapy or nothing. And I think we just fine, because even when you go to couples therapy, if you ask me, you're going to still argue and you're going to still have disagreements and agreements that you agree with. So it's not going to be like nothing going to change from what your everyday life going to be like anyway. I mean, if you ask me, it just really, like a person basically just helping you through your problem, goddamn it, that you can help yourself with. I mean, if y'all two compatible person that's strong enough to learn each other and know what the do's and don'ts is, and I know what button to push with you, and she know what button not to push with me, and all that type of stuff. So I think it depends on the person. But me personally, I think I'm good with it, Big Way. I don't think we need. I'm not a fan of it.
That's the perfect answer I was looking for, because I'm gonna tell you why. If you watch the show, it's not so much about fixing or trying to get to a place where you guys are both solid. The woman in the show does a great job of talking about reaction, fears that somebody may be putting on that they don't even recognize. It's about tone. It's about direction. It's about this unconscious resilience that you may have with your partner that spills into other things. So it's not necessarily about always healing or mending the relationship, or realizing that maybe this isn't the best, I don't want to continue to live my life with this person. it's a lot of self-awareness. It's a lot of unconscious things we do within our relationship that we're just not conscious of, right? Because of things, how we built, our own traumas. We all, every individual brings their own shit to the table when in reference to marriage. And sometimes those issues are unhealed or unrecognized. And so this woman in the show, one thing I love about her, she highlights tone, she highlights responses, she highlights why somebody's reserved in reference to certain other situations or a conversation. So I think the natural response is like, oh, I don't need couples therapy because, we get along. Yeah, we have we argue and fight. But sometimes your partner doesn't say what's on their chest solely to protect the marriage, right? We all hold back in our marriage. I don't think, like, as much as me and Akeisha take pride in communicating, and I think we try to get as much as we can on the table. Exactly. I know there's sometimes when we finish an argument, there's some meat on the bone. I know for a fact, I don't always say everything I should say because I don't want to further piss her off or go to a place where necessarily because I'm angry, I really don't mean. So there's always these spots and angles that this therapist does a great job of highlighting and putting on the table, because sometimes an unconscious response is what filters or kind of fuels, anger, resentment, not being seen or heard, yada, yada, yada. So I think it's great. The reason I'm promoting it, because I think we talk about how great our relationships are and how proud we are to be married men. But we all got our shit that we're just not aware of. Or we all bring shit to the table that we just maybe not aware of, or we are aware of, but there's some resilience, some resistance, if you will. And it's it's not, it's hard to kind of grow the relationship in a healthy manner if you're kind of either holding back or not being heard. So it's great. So couples therapy on Showtime. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's all over social media. You can look it up. It's awesome. I love the show. I actually watch it, and it's awesome. So that's all I can say about it.
But I got a thing. I want to flip the table around a little bit, Big Willie. You think it also can when you being so straight up like that it can also mess a relationship up, because you might be getting couple therapy, everything might be good, you might be getting everything out, y'all might be in agreement with everything, and then all of a sudden when you're not around that couple, you thinking about everything that person said when y'all was with that couple. Now you mad, now she mad, now you go back to thinking about what she said she did or what he said he did. Now you thinking, okay, well, you said you did this in therapy, and now you might be doing this to me too. So now you got a whole direction of stuff that you didn't know about that you said up in therapy that might come back to haunt you, that make your relationship even worse, because now you're thinking about what that person said when y'all was in therapy. Now you'll create an even bigger problem.
So I know two couples that did couples therapy. One felt like it helped their marriage, and they went on to they are still together and doing well, and they felt like one of the resurgence or kind of like the lift they needed came out of therapy. Then I have another couple who were, from the outside, everybody kind of knew there were some things there that there were some things there, but they went to therapy and they ended up getting divorced. Right. I feel the purpose of therapy is being able to be as real, raw, and in your face, on top of really learning your partner on a lot of different levels, and also feeling like you can say anything and everything without feeling judged. That's the purpose of therapy. So if Keisha, and I'm using my example, if we were to both take couples therapy, and she would unleash a lot of different things I never knew about or heard about, I have to allow her to have that safe space. And when I remove myself from that, all I can do is appreciate her honesty. No matter how real, uncomfortable, whatever it is, I have to accept it. But I can't use what she said in therapy as a get back. It's the purpose of that person to not only be heard, but to hear themselves, right? Because sometimes when you become, if you talk in your head enough, you become tone deaf. So you don't hear anybody else. You only hear what's going on in your head. So therapy, and from what I'm understanding by watching the show, allows a person to, one, hear how their partner receives what they're saying or what's happening. Also for them to pay attention to how they're delivering and receiving the message. And sometimes that's murky. Sometimes it's on point. Sometimes just the wording isn't matching, but you're both saying the same thing. All right, we're going to come on back. Wobbly Podcast Show. Welcome back to the Wild Willie podcast show. Just for clarification, the show will be dropping again in May, and you can catch it on Showtime. And if you want to stream it, it's on Paramount Plus. So check it out. Once again, it's called Couples Therapy. I'm excited about it. I can't wait for the new season. I've been following some of the clips on social media. I actually went back and watched some episodes that you're able to stream on Paramount Plus. It was awesome. So check it out. JJ, before we get out of here, as we close the show, any last words?
Yeah, Big Willie, I can't wait for you to post up your Easter suit, because I know it was off the chain. I'm going to make sure I post up my grandkids' big Easter baskets that I got made and everything as well. So, Big Willie, we got a lot of Easter. And, Big Willie, to be honest with you, I think it'd be good if some of the people can send us some of their Easter outfits, that they wore at the church, and show us how they brought their Easter in. Because, every time, it's Easter time, we got some nice outfits to see. So, Big Willie, we need to let them just come on the show and show us some of them Easter outfits they wore for Sunday.
Yeah, for everybody out there, as JJ mentioned, hit us up, send us a picture. You can send it to our IG page. You can send it to our TikTok page. However you want to send it, Britt, our lovely producer, will find it. Please send us your photos, and we'll thumbs up or thumbs down. JJ didn't go to church, so he doesn't count. He's eliminated. I actually went to church and put on a suit because I was thinking like JJ's about to show up. I got to give a little something. JJ's a fraud. I'm only messing. Best of luck to your Cowboys, JJ.
Yeah, keep a prayer in mind. Keep y'all prayers up, baby, because we know we got a lot of Cowboy fans. We the American team out there, so y'all y'all stay strong. We need this, baby. We need this.
I'm actually flying to Mexico City.
Oh, you and Keisha finna have a good holiday again. Another vacation. Congratulations, Big Willie.
Yep, I'm going down to Mexico City to be a part of the Steelers draft party. For everybody out there, the Steelers have a huge following in Mexico, a huge fan base, like enormous, JJ. Like Steeler Nation isn't just Steeler Nation is a worldwide thing. But in particular, Mexico, the Steelers have a huge fan base. So I'm going down to Mexico, and I'm going to be partying with Steeler Nation, shaking hands, kissing babies, taking in some of the culture, and representing Steeler Nation in a very fun, fanatic fashion.
You got your terrible towel with you?
What'd you say?
You got your terrible towel with you?
Oh, it's gonna be terrible ties anyway. I don't. One thing as a Steeler, when you show up, you're handed a terrible towel.
Okay.
That's something you have to. When they hand you when you get off the plane, it's like, oh, here's a terrible towel. Thank you for visiting. It's like when you go to Hawaii, they put a layer around your neck. Yeah, that's what they do in Pittsburgh. They put a terrible towel on your head.
Okay.
Just like that. So you Cowboys fans know nothing about that. It's unfortunate. I'm Willie Claude, and here's
JJ, baby. We'll see you next week. Get ready for draft.
Peace.